we had Undertaker defeat AJ Styles in the Boneyard match classic. Now, this to me was honestly match of the night for night one. Honestly, probably the top three matches of WrestleMania. So let's jump into it. Where do I start with the cinematic masterpiece? Some loved it, some hated it, but you gotta admit, Undertaker has been reborn and he has been reinvented. I could see this in the future of the Undertaker. Maybe another 5 Manias with these kind of matches would be awesome. Yeah, we could see Sting versus Undertaker, and something like this would be awesome. If you haven't seen it, you're missing out. It looked like it could have been a scene out of a biker movie or some Sons of Anarchy type stuff. The trash talk throughout the whole thing was awesome. AJ arrived in a casket. Well, a hearse pulled up, and then they were carrying out a casket. Sorry, just dropped my phone. And then they were carrying out the casket, and I thought it was the Undertaker, but then it turned out to be AJ Styles, and Taker ended up arriving shortly on a Harley. Taker starts beating up on AJ. I think he slams him on the casket at one point. Then AJ is laying on the hearse, and AJ ends up trying to fight back a bit, but Taker still takes advantage. Taker pulls out something like if he's about to stab AJ because AJ's through one of the hearse's windows, and then he moves, and Taker's hand goes through one of the windows, which cuts him up. I read online that that part wasn't planned at all. It basically no, not basically. It was a real cut. But they kept on recording because I'm pretty sure they still checked to see if he was okay, make sure that he didn't cut a vein or something on his arm. So they kept recording because they thought, hey, this would look awesome in the movie, anyways. So some other big spots was when Gallows and Anderson came out to attack Undertaker. Then Taker fought back, and AJ breaks a tombstone on the Undertaker. That was some pretty crazy stuff. Some other memorable moments is when AJ drags Taker in the hole and gets on the tractor. Basically, drags him into the hole because it was a hole. The hole was there because it was a buried alive match, pretty much. So he dragged the Undertaker in there, and he gets on the tractor, and he's still talking smack, saying that it's his fault that this is all gonna end right now. And then there's like a white, big white light shining on AJ while he's on there, and out of nowhere, the Undertaker pops out, and he's right behind him, and he just starts beating on him and takes him down from that tractor. Then there's a part where they're on top of a barn. There's like some kind of barn there. They're on top of the barn, and Taker shoots fire out of nowhere because AJ's trying to run away. So, Undertaker has those supernatural powers. And then after that, Gallows Gallows and Anderson out of nowhere are up there, and he throws one of them off. He just straight up just chucks them off, and then he tombstones the other one on top of the barn. He then choke slams AJ from the top of the barn, and he lands on like a wooden crate. I mean, yeah, I think it was a wooden crate that broke AJ's fall. After that, Taker just basically drags Styles, holds him up, gives him some kind of hug or whatever because AJ's saying sorry and this and that. Then Taker just gives him the big boot, boom, and he falls right in the hole. After that, Taker sits on the tractor and pours the dirt on him for the win. Finally, Taker drives off in his bike with some awesome pyro and a big laser showing off his cross style logo. And then it cuts back to AJ in the hole, and then you see a hand of AJ just popped up there with his glove, basically signaling, hold up, wait a minute, something else. Not something else, but this is far from over. So, like I said, this was an awesome Boneyard match, and I loved it. And the fans who loved it, well, they just loved it. Honestly, it was awesome. I just can't stop saying it. Yeah, it was silly. It was cinematic. Is that the future wrestling? I hope not. But for someone like The Undertaker, maybe it is supposed to be in his future a bit more because he's taking like fewer bumps because it's a lot of let's record here, let's do this scene, stop, let's do this scene, stop. let's do this, stop, you know? So that's a bit safer for him and for whoever he is going up against. AJ did an amazing job on selling. Sorry. That's why it fits so well because AJ just did an amazing job when it came to selling. You couldn't ask for someone to sell better than how AJ did.